This call is being recorded.
Happy Monday. Hope everything has been great for you. And I want to bring to the line right now my good friend, my mentor, our hard-working CEO, the visionary of Akana, and an absolute bad A woman. She has built teams in over 40 countries. She's an author, a co-author, a mom, a glam mom, and as I said, my mentor, and please and blessed to say my good friend, Melissa Boston Atoyebe. Are you out there?
Hey, Kathy. Good morning. Good morning. I am out here. Thank you so much. Just appreciate you for all that you do and that warm introduction of me and how you so graciously welcome the callers along with Dr. Betty. So thank you both this morning. And just again, appreciate everyone on the line. Want to go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Got some information to share this morning, so want to do that. Also, too, as it is Black History Month, I do want to actually give a shout out to some folks out there making some history with us, okay? And so let's go ahead and start. So without any further ado, all the guests on the line, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're brand new, good morning to you. And for those of you who've been tuning in with us every single week, good morning. And I heard a birthday shout out for Nadine Delanato. So want to say happy birthday to you this morning, sweetheart. Hopefully you are enjoying your blessed day today. And anyone else out there who might be celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you as well. Well, the meaning of Akana means in the hands of God. Our mission, we believe health, wealth, freedom, and legacy are our birthright. By offering the most life-changing products in an innovative business, we empower people to elevate to their full potential. Also, too, before jumping into this, I want to acknowledge a very special prayer request this morning. For those of you who know Sammy Stovall, Sammy and James this last week actually lost their oldest son, and so we want to keep them uplifted in prayers and in our thoughts. And so for those of you who do know Sammy, please reach out. Let her know that we as Akana are thinking of her and uplifting her family at this time of loss. She's been with us from the beginning, guys, one of the early people, from the very, very start. So Sammy, if you're out there, just know we love you and we are praying for you and your family, and our condolences to you on the loss of your son. It is, also just getting back from Valentine's weekend. So hopefully each and every one of you enjoyed a special day, whether you celebrated Valentine's Day, whether you celebrated Galentine's. We had just an awesome time on Friday celebrating as couples. In fact, after this call is over, you can go to my page and check out the recap from that event. So I want to give a big shout out to Gerald West. Oh my goodness. He had the vision to really put this spectacular day together. And I'm going to just say, as someone who was able to experience it firsthand, just the connection that it did, the rejuvenation, right? If you are in a relationship, if you have been married, we all know that from time to time, every relationship could use that spark, right? That just injection. And I really feel this was probably one of our most impactful events ever. In fact, it was so impactful that we've been requested to do this beyond just, on Valentine's. And so, Gerald, stay tuned, because it sounds like this is going to be something that happens probably at least every quarter. And so just, again, such a special, special night. And I know Ernestine and, Ken, joined us. And we had so many couples, in fact, some brand new couples, just who many of us have met for the first time, because, it's exciting when we have people plugging in with us who we didn't even know, but now they become family and friends, guys. And so it's just a great opportunity to bond, to connect. And again, just wanted to highlight how much of a special time we had. And Karen Ivy, want to give a shout out to you for the great job you did at helping to prepare just a feast that was so fit for kings and queens. I'm telling you what, they picked from vegan options to fish options, to chicken options, and even steak, okay? So we had it all, and it was absolutely just a grand, grand, grand time. In fact, last night, we actually were on WBON, so any of you that might tune in to Mitchell Johnson, Reverend Mitchell Johnson, featuring my community plan. We had the opportunity at 7 p.m. to join him live there at the radio. So make sure if you follow him, go back and listen to our interview from last night. We had a lot of fun, and it was just great, reconnecting again with WVON. We have such a history with that radio show, and we've had a lot of great customers, and some of you on the line joined us through WVON, hearing many of the different times in which some of our distributors, have been on the show. And so again, just a great, great, great night. Also, too, guys, we had a promo that's been running over the weekend. We've sent the blast out that will extend through midnight tonight. So you'll see some more blasts on that, but just know all the specials that we've been offering will conclude tonight at midnight. Okay, next event we have up for Soul Massage is our Sisters in Healing. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, we would love to have you come out and experience a very special day. I know Tracy Finley Elliott, the person who's actually heading that event, my childhood friend. I mean, we've known each other since kindergarten, and she is excited to host such a special event to really help bring women together in a way that we're going to have some serious breakthroughs. I mean, she's got quite an agenda. So if you, feel compelled to attend, we would love to have you as well. And also, too, if you have not yet had a chance to secure your tickets, make sure you go get those airline tickets for our Orlando retreat for those of you who have qualified. And that will happen from May 15th through the 18th there in Orlando, Florida. And make sure you get your flight details sent to support@akana.com. Hemp Govee, oh my goodness, is on the move. It's actually becoming one of our top selling products. So for those of you who've already purchased it, who've been utilizing it, I'm telling you what, this is going to be a product that absolutely is going to help you crush your CV. So if you want to continue to crush your CV, you better be pushing that Hemp Govee. And so I have a special, call I've prepared today for you. It's actually based on a story. It's a parable, okay? And many of you might have heard it, but I think it's a very important time in which we introduce this parable, because so many times, we face not only obstacles, we face doubters, even sometimes people who unintentionally, want to discourage you from reaching your goal. And so if you know anything about the parable of the three frogs, okay, turning a deaf ear to doubt. And sometimes that doubt might just come from our own internal beliefs, okay? So hopefully you're not the one doubting yourself, but sometimes that doubt also comes from those externally who sometimes mean good for us, but they mean well for us, but it just comes across in a way that really kills our dreams, right? And so just know that success often comes not just from your skill, not just from your effort, right? Because you've seen people with lots of skill, lots of effort, but no matter what they're doing, it's just not working out, right? But from tuning out negativity, okay, and believing in what's possible. And so what I'm going to do in honor of Black History Month, I want to look at some examples of people throughout history, okay, who have actually tuned out that negativity, right? They believed in what's possible and didn't let people define them and tell them what's impossible, okay? And then I'm going to get back into the parable of the three frogs. But I want to give a shout out for Madam C.J. Walker, right? She was told a Black woman couldn't build wealth. But guess what? She became a self-made millionaire. In fact, many of you joined us in Indianapolis at her legendary facility where we had a phenomenal time, celebrating. And so just know she's an example of someone who really turned that deaf ear. She did not listen to what the popular opinion said. And guess what? She became the first woman made, self-made millionaire. Not Black woman, but woman made, right? And that happened in the early 1900s. Then we think about Michael Jordan. He was cut from his high school team. But guess what? He became a basketball legend. I mean, literally, most people look at him as the GOAT, the greatest of all times, right? And then we think about Barack Obama. I mean, he was told a Black man would never be president. But guess what? Made history. Venus and Serena Williams, right? They were told, guess what? Tennis isn't for Black girls. I mean, these are girls who grew up in a neighborhood, right, in Compton, okay? And people just doubted that from this tough neighborhood, they're going to dominate a predominantly white sport of tennis. They proved everybody wrong, right? Winning multiple Grand Slam titles and changing the game forever, okay? Shonda Rhimes, she was told no one wanted black leads on TV. But guess what? She created groundbreaking shows. In fact, when you think about when she started in television, networks literally doubted that shows led by strong black women leads would actually be successful. But guess what? She ignored them. She created hit series like Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder, transforming Hollywood, okay? And then we think about Oprah Winfrey. I mean, she was fired, but became a media mogul. I mean, she was told she was unfit for TV. She was fired from her first television job as an anchor. Instead of letting that define her, she persevered. She built her own media empire and became one of the most influential and wealthiest women in the world. And then, of course, there's Tyler Perry, homeless, okay, but became a billionaire. From homeless to billionaire status. I mean, living out of his car, trying to produce his first stage play, facing repeated failures, people doubting his ability, but he kept pushing. He kept forging forward, and now is a billionaire, filmmaker, actor, and media mogul. And so as we now talk about the story of the three frogs, okay, you know, we think about this story, this parable, where you had three frogs that fell into a deep hole, and they all were trying to jump out. But guess what? The walls were steep, and their legs grew weary. As they struggled, a crowd of frogs gathered around the host shouting, "It's impossible. You're wasting your energy. Just accept your fate." I want you to think about that for a minute. You know, there's times in your life, right, where you might fall into just a bad period of time, right? Whether it's financially, emotionally, maybe you've lost your job, and just think about how many times the naysayers, the doubters, right, want to sometimes root for you to lose versus trying to help you to win, okay? And so hearing them give this feedback, right, that is not possible, you're wasting your energy. Guess what? One of the frogs lost hope and gave up. They broke his spirit, and he didn't make it. The second frog kept trying, but eventually listened to the voices of doubt. He too stopped trying and accepted his fate. But guess what happened with the third frog? He kept jumping higher and higher. And against all odds, guess what happened? He made it out. But the crowd was in shock. Like, how did he do it? They wondered, right? Remember those crabs in a barrel? Okay, at the JOB, how did this frog get out that hole? But guess what they realized? He was deaf. He was deaf. He never heard the negativity. He only focused on his goal, believing what he could do. And so the lesson is turning a deaf ear to negativity. See, the story teaches us that success often requires selective hearing. If we listen to the wrong voices, whether it's the other's doubts, the fears, or even our own insecurities, we can become paralyzed. But if we turn a deaf ear to negativity and stay focused, we can achieve what others believe is impossible. And now when I bring in the biblical foundation, you know, the principle of this is actually echoed in Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. When we trust in God and tune out our doubt, we can move forward with faith, knowing that He is our strength. And so how do we apply this to our real life? How do we block out negativity? Well, number one, we have to surround ourselves with encouragers. See, just as the wrong voices can discourage, the right voice can uplift. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpens iron, okay? So we've got to stay around those who can strengthen your faith. Number two, you have to control your inner dialogue. Replace self-doubt with God's promise. Instead of I can't, say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Number 3, act in faith, not fear. I'm going to repeat that again. Act in faith, not fear. Like the deaf frog. Don't wait for approval. Move forward even when others say it's impossible. And so the conclusion, be the deaf frog. Life will always have voices of doubt. But the question is, which voices will you listen to? Will you be the frog who listens to discouragement and gives up? Or will you be the deaf frog, turning a deaf ear to negativity, facing forward? See, if you choose to focus on faith over fear, perseverance over doubt, and God's promises over people's opinions, you will leap out of life's deepest holes, no matter how bad it is, no matter how rough it is, no matter how tough it is, right? Just know, no matter what, no matter how impossible it seems. And so remember this, the deaf frog didn't escape because he was stronger. He escaped because he refused to hear the words that would have kept him trapped. And how many times in life, right, are you where you're at today because you, too, turned that deaf ear? And so that's the message this morning that I wanted to bring, because I sometimes look around and we have so much positive energy here, with Akana. But I do know that sometimes, and you hear the chatter, and just to remind you that guess what? We are on our way to billion-dollar bid, no matter what, right? We have tuned a deaf ear, okay, to any hater or naysayer. And we know that the best is yet to come. We know that there are lives at stake every day that depend on us waking up and saying yes to this mission, to this calling, to the vision. And we are super excited and more fired up than ever. And so with that being said, I want also everyone to join and support our Save Our Strands. I know each week the call has been getting better and better, right? I know they're bringing some new, different ideas. I know there's even a class now they're putting back on the table where you can get certified again and actually do the coaching and the scope of People Scout. So if you want to learn more about how you might be able to get into the hair industry in a huge way, which is a massive opportunity, scoping scalps and helping women to recover from hair loss and alopecia, join at 2:30 p.m. Central and learn more at saveourstrands.com. Of course, tomorrow, I want to remind you to join our Diamond Factory. I know many of you are tuning in to our rebound happening in just a few minutes. We know this, our 2025 vision for Akana is clear. Health, wealth, freedom, and legacy for every person we touch. Let's move forward together. No looking back. Have an Akana day. We're going to see you at the top, the very top. That's it.